Hi, New London Spicer teachers. Hopefully you are looking for a video about how to add a discussion to one of your courses. That's my plan to show you. So once you're logged into Schoology, you are going to navigate up to your courses and go ahead and choose whichever one you are planning to add a discussion to. For the sake of this video, I'm going to use my homeroom wrap class, and we are going to add a discussion about their weekend. So I want to look here at add materials, and then we are going to, these are all the different things that you can add, but I want to do a discussion today. So let's click on that. It'll open up a window for us, and we are going to hopefully get this window open. There it goes. Every week we do a discussion just on Mondays about what they did over the weekend. But, like for instance, this coming week we have a 2-hour late start, so we won't get to have wrap on Monday. So we might end up wanting to do a discussion about their weekends just on Schoology, or I'm just using this as an example. So you can put your title in there, and then here you can write a description or some directions for them. So I want students to respond to the discussion with 3 details about their weekend. And then I also want them to respond, I'm going to say then, respond to 2 of your classmates. Okay. Whoops, I forgot a classmate's post. So there's my directions. You can add a couple different things down here from this menu. The 2 kind of big ones is if you want them to view a file, you can attach that file here and then they can look at that. Or maybe you want them to check a website or watch a video. You can also add that here. And then there's a couple other options. I'm not going to go through them right now for the sake of time. But they are there, and as you use Schoology, you'll get to know them more and more. You can set a due date. Here, since this is a weekend discussion one, I'm going to set it for next Monday. The default time for due dates, it doesn't matter what resource you're adding, is always 11:59. I want this to be done by 9 o'clock on Monday morning. So I am going to add that there, even though we don't technically have school. I just realized, but that's okay. We're just doing this as an example. I want to enable grading, and as soon as I clicked on enable grading, that little points over here showed up. The default points is also always 100 points, so remember to change that, or you can change it if you forget after the fact. When I go into here, I want to put the categories in. If you need a new category in your gradebook here, it doesn't affect any of your categories in Infinite Campus, so don't worry about that. But if you want a different category in Schoology, you can add one there. I already have one for discussion, so all I did was hit create new grading category. It pops up here as an option to type in. You type it in and then it's there. So I'm just going to add this one to discussions, and then there are some different grading options, but this should all pop up to be the right thing. Unless you're having an issue, I wouldn't worry too much about those. There is another option here that says numeric, and if you are using rubrics already for different things and you've got lots of rubrics, let us know and we can help you get those into Schoology. Otherwise, I would just stick with this numeric for now, and then as we get more comfortable with Schoology, we'll dig into rubrics a little bit more. If you're super interested, please let us know and we can help you sooner than later. So some other options that are down here, you can individually assign if you need to. That's there. We'll dig into this more too after we get going in Schoology, but I wouldn't worry too much with aligning learning objectives right now. There's a lock option, And so if you, like after the due date, you don't want anybody to be able to respond anymore, but you want the discussion to still be viewable, you can hit lock and then it doesn't let anybody respond. Or beforehand too, you can do that. Another way to make it unavailable to students is to just not publish it. So if I created it right now, it would be unpublished, meaning students couldn't see it. I'm going to click on publish just so that you can see that. And then my other kind of favorite option with discussions is that I can make it so students have to post their own discussion response before they can see what everybody else also said. So that way I'm guaranteed to see their initial thoughts, their own post to start with, which I really like. So I just highlight that and then it becomes full color and it says require members to post before revealing other responses. So that's there. And then one other nice feature that's here is if you wanted to copy this to your other courses, say you wanted to do this in all of your classes, you could go ahead and just check this box here. You can add it to a folder. You can adjust the due date and time if you need to. You can add it to a category. These are kind of the same options that were available in this screen where we were doing that same stuff. So once you have all of that entered, go ahead and hit create. And it's loading and create. And so now it is here and students can start responding to it. We've got this little gear over here if you need to change any of your settings or any of the things that you had just created in that window. Go ahead and hit edit. I'm going to show you this actually in the video. So remember how I was talking about publishing or unpublishing so that students could see it or not? Currently, it is published. So if my homeroom class logged in right now, they could see it and respond to it. What I am going to show you just quick is how to unpublish and publish something. So I had clicked on here under this gear, unpublish, and it goes to this kind of gray background. And so that means that students can't see it at all. They see it up here or over here on their like due date because I had a due date, but they can't get into it to do anything. So I'm going to click publish and it'll turn back to the color like the folder is, and it is there. If you go into this now, you'll kind of see what students see if they're on the web version. It looks a little different in the app, but that's another video, another topic. And so they see the title, they would see a file here if you loaded a file, or a link to a video if you loaded a video link here, and then your directions, and they can respond here. So I'm just going to say one thing that I did this weekend. So we watched the Vikings game with my parents in October. Okay, so that's there. I'm going to hit post, and you've got your couple different options. Let's see. I am going to show you a discussion that I have done so that you can see what it looks like once students have responded. So let's go into my English 10 second hour class here. And we do Monday reading discussions because we have Monday reading days every week. So we have done 3 of these now. We skipped 1 week since school started. So I've got a few different ones. This one down on the bottom, I used a rubric for, and so if you're interested in that, I would be more than happy to show you how to do that, but I don't want to overwhelm anybody. So I'm going to show you the reading day one. I will preface this with, they weren't the greatest of discussions to start with, but we have definitely improved as the year, even in the 3 that we've done so far, I feel like we've improved a lot. So it takes practice and getting used to, but I think it's a really important skill for our students to know. So as you can see, I've got my discussion directions here, and I told them about this before we read that day too, so that was kind of nice. They knew a little bit of what to expect. Then, in order to grade this, you are going to come over here And if it's not graded, it won't have this check mark by it. I forget what it looks like if it's not graded. I suppose I could just delete this. I don't really want to though. So I can show you one that's not graded too. So you can see you've got a spot to enter the number that's in there, and then a comment back to them. And you can also click, if you don't want them to see it right away, you can say, I can just unclick that and it won't be able to, the student won't be able to see it. So, and then submit, and then this changes to a check mark. So as you're going through, you can see that each of them are graded. Another nice feature in here is that it tells you how many, if you click on highlight user, I'm just going to come over here and scroll down a little bit. It tells you how much each of these people have posted in this discussion. And so if I wanted to see Haley's posts and have them kind of pop out, you'll notice that this is a little bit just different color blue, and then she must have a comment back to somebody. So it just highlights them so they're a little bit easier to see, which I think is helpful, especially when you're going through and grading them, or if you're looking for something specific, it's there. So that is there. There are a couple different ways to see the grades. I think the easiest is over in Gradebook, but because I'm in the screen, I'm going to show you this option. So up at the top here, there are a few different things that you can check on. If I go up to edit grades, it shows me kind of everybody's in alphabetical order, which I think is handy. So if I had my grade sheet, I could be writing them down here, just with the numbers, or even opening Infinite Campus and entering them in screens that are side by side too. I'm just going to X out of there, and I'm going to show you another option. Over here, if you come over to Gradebook, that is there, or it'll open up here, and you've got the different items that you might need to see, or they're here if you need to enter them. I really like that it puts them in alphabetical order instead of shuffling through papers. Last year we had done our reading logs, and I just had them do them on sheets of paper where they would respond to different things, similar questions as I had done in these, and I got to see them and read them and correct the 75 papers. But I really like that in the reading discussions that for me the grading is faster once I've gotten used to it, and then on top of that, the students get to see what other books they're reading too, and can go back and look at just what other books people are reading and get book recommendations too. So there is that. I am over my 10-minute mark where I tried to keep the videos to 10 minutes. So I'm not going to show you anything else right now. I hope that this was helpful. Please, please, please let me know if you have more questions, or any of the tech leaders. We are all more than happy to help. So we love using Schoology and are here to help you. Let us know if you are looking for other videos or need help with something specifically discussion related, or just anything Schoology related. We're more than happy to help. So have a good rest of the day or night or whatever time it is that you're watching the video.